when it comes to individuals and us in general and people, just to let people know that accept you for you. Don't worry about the world.
I just had the most inspiring conversation with Charles Marlow. Charles is such a unique individual that can light up any room and is always in a good mood. And he talks to me about his inspiration for being in that positive mood, his wife Anna, and the role that she's played in shaping him into the man that he is today. I think you're going to love hearing from Charles Marlow. Today, I'm so excited to be sitting with Charles Marlow. Charles is one of those people that boosts everyone around him. When Charles is in the group, everyone's mood is elevated, and I hear that consistently. So Charles, tell us a bit about who you are and what you do for C&G. And then I want to get into why you are such an energy creator for our employees.
You know, I've had a lot of time to really evaluate life within myself because I know I grew up rougher than most,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't let it define me. My struggles and my story, it really doesn't even start with how I was brought up, even though there was a lot of not love and things like that that I didn't experience. But I think my story started when I was 18 and I married my junior high sweetheart. That's my passion. That's my love. And you know, through that story, we've had all of our bumps and bruises and things
Mm-hmm.
like that, but we grow stronger together every day. So for me, and the reason why I love on everyone the way I love on is because I deal with love every day. I am loved unconditionally.
So Charles, what's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Anna.
Anna. So the first time you saw Anna, was it like, that's it? That's the love of my life?
You know what? When we first got together, we were 12. So I don't even understand. I
Yeah,
don't I don't think we understand the love behind
yeah,
that.
yeah, yes.
It was more of like playground boyfriend
Okay,
and girlfriend.
sure.
She has a story that she'll tell of me saying how tough I was, but I was not. I was always the guy that sat in the back and processed everything. Always had to be a processor.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
So she's your inspiration, and she's
she
the
is.
reason that you're such a positive, happy person. So tell us, what is it that you do at C&G and how long you've worked here?
I've been here, so I'm the training coordinator for CNG.
Okay.
I've been here for 12 plus, 12 and a half years or so. I don't want to get down to a date, but
Yep.
I've been here for a while,
A while.
a while.
And so I remember when I was here for one of our owner meetings on the Lexington campus, you were standing outside the door of the meeting and you were playing music and ringing bells and you were trying to get everybody in an energized mood. Where did that energy? I know Anna's your inspiration, but have you always been like that?
I have honestly always been high energy.
Yeah?
I owe it all to my faith,
Mhm.
pretty much, because I'm a guy that when I wake up in the morning, I'm thankful for just waking up. So to see everybody come in when I'm pumping up
Yeah.
with that very cool fanny pack that I
It
got
was
with those
very
two
cool.
subwoofers on there,
Yes.
yeah, I feel like the man. Fanny packs are in.
You have made the fanny pack cool.
Yeah.
So Charles, tell me about your life growing up. Like I know times weren't always great for
Mhm.
you as they are today. So when you were a young child, did you have this positivity to you?
I did not. I actually lived the opposite of what I live now.
Hmm.
My mother gave me up at 3 years old to alcoholism. I've grown to where I can ask her about it. That was probably the reason why I didn't start drinking until I was like 35 because I was scared that I would end up like my mother or my uncles and things like that on that side. But it has truly been a blessing for me to see the struggle that I've seen. I remember not knowing where I'm going to lay my head. I walk the streets a lot. I
As a
used
young boy.
yes as a young boy. And that really took a toll on me. Honestly, it hardened my heart. So the heart that you see now, I never had back then. I couldn't have a conscience because if I didn't hustle, I didn't eat. So when you're in the streets and things like that, that is something that you're not allowed to do or you're not allowed to have. You're not allowed to have that heart for emotions or anything like that. We had either I'm going to make my money or I'm not going to eat tonight, So it was it was most definitely a total different change within my life when my wife had come about, you know.
So did when you were given up at 3 years old, where did you go? Who raised you?
My father stepped in and did the best that he can do.
Okay.
I used to say that he was never there for me, but as an adult, he did the best that he can do.
Mhm.
Um, just last year, just last year, I had asked him because he's never spoke about. Now I moved my father in, even though he
To
was
your
not,
house.
yes, into my home. And even though that he was not there for me, he did the best that he could. And I say that to correct him, not, me saying that he's never was there, because it's very hard to say that a kid at that age didn't have anyone. You have someone. Um, but to be raised by a father that didn't really like his father, because his father, I found out last year, was never there for him. And I noticed that when I asked the question, his attitude had kind of changed. And he said that he was never there for me. That's why I don't talk about him. And I said, enough said, because in my right mind and seeing life for what it is, I see that it still hurts. There's wounds that we either you heal them or they stay with you, And I've healed a lot of wounds, through him apologizing a couple years back, for not being the father that I needed at that time,
Mhm.
being more of a friend than anything. But what I tell him, he doesn't have to feel bad or less than, because his absence within my world
Mhm.
made me the man that I am today. And
Yeah.
that's how I look at all of my, I guess they would be considered struggles,
Yes.
but I don't see them as struggles. That was just a part in my life that was a small story that made me who I am today.
Yeah, it's so true. Like what our experiences are when we're young kind of shape us into who we are as an
Yes.
adult. But it would have been so easy for you too to go off on a different road, a darker
Yes.
road. And so the fact that you were able to heal,
Hmm.
those wounds from your childhood, because we all have them in one form or another.
Yes.
Maybe not living on the street, but that feeling of not being worthy or,
Not cared, not
not cared
loved.
for and abandoned.
Hmm.
So, what allowed you to heal those wounds?
I don't know. It was far from when I was a believer, because I didn't grow up a believer. I didn't grow up in church. I didn't even think that there was a God. There was no such thing. So this belief and this faith, it's because I was shown that the father that I was always looking for, he has always been there for me, because there's positions and there is certain things that I've been through in life that I shouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. And that's why I take every opportunity to the fullest, because I'm like, I was that little project kid that I used to say I'm not going to see 18. I never thought that I was going to see
Wow.
18,
Yeah.
because the way that we lived, being a part of an organization, which is labeled as a gang. I did at 16 years old, I was looking at 10 to 40 to life, which really opened my eyes. But through all of what I've done and what I've been through, I had a lot of time to sit and process life.
Mhm.
Life is so precious. And then I realized that I am in control of everything. That's actually when I realized that my words and everything that I did, it was all up to me, because I blamed a lot of stuff on my father and my mother for not being together and not being parents that I thought they would be.
Yeah. And it's easy to forget that our parents were little kids and people
It
too,
is. It
and
truly
how
is.
they were treated and what shaped their life into
Yes.
who they became.
Hmm.
And I'm a believer like you, Charles, that, we get the experiences, maybe not that we want to have, but that we need to have to shape us into who we are.
That is perfect. And that is true. And we may not know it at that time,
Yes.
but it truly helps us in the future.
Yeah.
It truly does, even though the future is not guaranteed, but we
Right.
do grab a lot from our past that
We
helps us
do.
in the future.
So when you think about your future
Mhm.
and kind of where do you want your life to be 10, 20 years from now? Do you have a vision of what that looks like for you?
I really don't. I don't have a vision because the future is not guaranteed.
Mm.
I live for the moment. And right now, my life right now is it is amazing. It is great. You know, I had a son just for my birthday in May. He just graduated from college. You know, I am so proud in that. He graduated from college, started his career, and doing phenomenal.
And what can you tell us his name?
His name is Keandre. Yeah,
Keandre.
his name is Keandre. He's 22. He stays out at Finley. He's got a little apartment downtown, and he is truly, he makes me proud every day. And I
Yeah,
tell him that. And
that
then
is awesome.
my baby boy, he works here for our company and films for.
Mhm.
Him and his wife, they're gonna have a baby. They're like 9 weeks pregnant, so I'm gonna be
Oh,
a pop pop.
wow, wow. First one, right? First
First
grandchild?
one,
Oh my
first one.
gosh, you are gonna spoil that one.
Oh, yes. I have already got plans for a playground in the front yard and trying to figure out everything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I am so I'm so head over heels, you know, like to truly to truly be raised how I was raised, which was to the best of the ability of my parents.
Yeah.
To be able to be that father that I always wanted to be and
Mhm,
bleed into my kids to let them understand who they are and to accept them for who they are
mhm,
and not worry about the world has been an amazing job as a father for me, but
mhm.
I've just been in love with with my kids and just how everything is right now, you know?
Yeah.
My wife, I mean, she has no more health issues, you know? She's still as crazy as ever, but she's married to me, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It takes a lot to tame this down, so
Oh, I have
and
no
to
doubt
put up with
about that.
this.
I have no doubt about that. So, Charles, I know you're a live in the moment guy, and I think that that's what makes you so real and so authentic and really gives you that ability to connect with people. So what do you and Anna like to do together? What are your hobbies or
You know, I will tell you, so we went to DC the last couple of days just to go and see the history.
yeah.
But we took Monday and Tuesday off just to have time for self. Because
Yep.
I'm not, even though I'm a people's person, crowds and things like that, it gets my anxiety up, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So my home is my serenity, you
yeah,
know? So I, you know, I just enjoy holding her. We hold
yeah,
each other and just watch a movie, or
yeah,
she loves fires,
yeah.
so we go out there and have a fire. But you know, we have been blessed to have the land and just we've been blessed to just have that time with each other because we really realize that time is so short. So it's nothing that, you know, we're going on our first ever cruise in October.
Really? Where are you going?
We're going to Mexico and we're going to a couple of different places, but it's a 7 day cruise, and this will be our first one, first vacation alone. Because we believe,
Wow.
yeah, we believe in making those memories with our kids.
Sure.
So our kids went everywhere with us. So this will be our first one, and this will be our. So we're going to renew our vows too. It's our 23rd anniversary this year. So we've been together for 23 years, in total, probably 28, 29 years. And I'm only 41. I'm like, we've been together longer than what I've been living, you know? So it
Yeah.
is truly amazing.
Yeah.
So just to have that quiet time,
Yeah.
that is it. We're very simple, very, very simple and very thankful.
Yeah, I think it's such a blessing for you, Charles, given how you grew up to find your soulmate and to have someone that brings you so much joy
Mhm.
and peace and, really enriches your life. I think
Yes,
that's amazing.
yes.
So Charles, how do you get involved in your community? If you
Right now I'm reaching out to a buddy of mine that is heavily involved into Mansfield community. I spend my time trying to figure out where I can give back to the youth
Yes,
because they're our future.
they are.
So I share my testimony and I share my story with anyone that'll listen. So I go to juvenile detention centers. I go to Ontario School. I stay on the outskirts of Ontario, and all my kids go there. But I've spoken to almost every eighth grade class, giving testimony and really telling them how great they are. Because like me, it's very hard to know how it is in the background of things. Most
Yeah,
people don't understand, like what we're doing here. Most people don't understand that we all have a story. And most people don't understand that this younger youth are going through so much. The mental health for them, it
yeah,
is so scary. And just the way of the world. I try to get people and I bleed into, and they've allowed me to bleed into them and tell them how great they are and the individuals they are, no matter what they choose or whatever it is. But I let them know and I try to inspire them and let them know that they're truly loved. And I try not to preach,
Yep,
but
yep.
I'm like, I am so driven by God that I know that you're destined to be great.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know,
That
so I
is
get that opportunity, and I've seen some of the people that I talk to actually come in here, and
mhm,
they come in here and they work here, and they're like, "I remember you back when this and that." And you know, once we get those people that come, like we had 4 buses that come to the company to
mhm.
see it, and I can use that platform after we're talking about what goes on here and things like that. But I use that platform, you know, my platform that y'all had given me to really bleed into how great they are and how great they can be here, but just in life in general.
Yeah, I think it's so important to try to encourage people and lift them up. You know, I can remember even from when I was a little girl, one of my teachers telling me, you know, Kathy, I see something in you.
Mhm.
And for me to remember at my age comments like that, that
Yes.
those words of encouragement to someone who's really struggling or feels like, you know, no one ever pays attention to me or sees anything special,
Yes.
the more you can pull that out in someone, I mean, that
Yes.
is amazing work, Charles.
Yes, and you know what? I give all glory to God. It is not of me. But when it comes to individuals and us in general and people, just to let people know that accept you for you. Don't worry about the world.
That's
You
it.
are truly loved. And even if you're not getting it behind closed doors, I love you. I care for you. I just want to be able to spread that joy and happiness because of the world. The way of the world is just
It's so needed
it
right
it
now.
is. It's based off of hate and division. That's why I don't have no social media, and I don't watch the news in my home,
Yeah.
you know?
I don't watch the
I
news either
just
because it's too depressing. So,
it most definitely is.
yeah.
So therefore, in my little bubble, in my world, it's like I'm good. You know, I found out something the judges things like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know that that was happening," you know,
Yeah.
like and my kids, my daughter, she's
Yeah.
17, her name's Layla, she's
Sure.
going into her senior year, love her, but she is me through and through, and she's like, "Dad, this is what's going on in the world. Did you not know about this? You need social media," you
Yeah.
know?
No, I think I'm
I
doing just
said,
fine without
"I'm
it,
good."
Layla.
I
Yeah.
said, "As long as I can control my peace and my bubble, I'm good." Because with me controlling my peace, as long as we have people that are like-minded, like yourself, we even if you wasn't in the position that you're in,
Mhm.
okay? I can still see your heart and your passion for people. That's what keeps me here. That's what keeps me doing what I do because I know you have the same love that I have.
Mm.
You know, and it gets any job, it gets crazy.
It
It's a
does.
roller
It
coaster.
does, yes.
But when we get down to the bare bones of things,
Yeah,
we still love people.
we do.
And that
Yes.
is all that matters. You
I
know, I tell people all the time, I don't care about, status, money. I don't care about none of that. I honestly don't. I tell people I just make broke look real good. So don't don't worry about anything, you know?
Alright. Well, Charles, this has been amazing.
Yes.
Before we wrap up, I wanna turn the table and give you an opportunity to ask me any question you wanna ask me.
You know what? There's no question I want to ask because I already know you for who you are.
Aw, that's sweet.
You know,
Thank you.
you show your heart out there on videos. You show your heart when you have those conversations and even your team. The people that you surround yourself with, I know why you surround yourself with. You know, that is your piece. That is your structure. And I love that. I
Mm.
love seeing that. And that's what I have here. I have a
Yeah.
lot of people that I can lean on and things like that when I'm having those rough days or even when I'm not saying anything. People can say, "Hey, you good?" And I'm like, "I'm good." But you know what? You are the most transparent person I know. One of most
Yeah.
transparent people I know.
Ah, well, Charles, thank you so much for that. I just can't tell you how great this has been to spend some time with you, and
Mhm.
Charles Marlow, you inspire me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.